Best-selling author Bryant McGill says, "A person who makes few mistakes makes little progress." Many of us try to avoid mistakes because of the awkwardness and the embarrassment that usually comes with it. However, we can use mistakes to our advantage if we have the proper mindset towards them. So today, I want to help us all feel a little bit better about ourselves, knowing how incredibly common mistakes are. I will then share with you a study that teaches us a proper mindset that we should develop in order to improve our performance following a mistake. And then I want to remind us of a game that we may have all played as children that taught us by making mistakes. So in 2017, a company conducted a study where they discovered that the average American worker makes 118 errors in a year. So we can all take a sigh of relief knowing that we're all going to make mistakes. Now, there is a study, actually two studies that were conducted by Michigan State University. The first one consisted of college students performing computer tasks, and the second study was of doctors making decisions about which medication to prescribe to patients. Now, there's a lot that goes on that was involved in this study, but essentially, the researchers learned that there were two brain responses among the participants. The first response was of a wake-up call, where the brain saw the feedback they received as a problem, and they treated that problem like it needs to be solved. So the brain would ask questions like, what happened and why did that happen? And then the brain increased its attention during the next decision as if it was trying to prevent that mistake from happening again. And so when this happens, performance usually increases and a person learns from that mistake. And the second response was of the brain actually shutting down. The brain reacts to that feedback as a threat. So it kind of avoids it so it doesn't have to feel bad about itself or doubt its abilities. And a person with that response doesn't improve their performance. They actually just want positive feedback to feel good about themselves. So essentially what we learned here is that we need to develop a growth mindset over a fixed mindset, where a growth mindset is where you get good at something through dedicated practice, and a fixed mindset is where you're either good at it or you're bad, and that's it. So a game that we may have all played when we were children actually teaches this principle. So remember the game where you try to fit certain shapes into certain shaped holes? That's exactly what this study was kind of teaching, was a person will keep trying through different shapes, they'll keep making mistakes, and then eventually the child will learn that the cube shape actually fits into the hole that's a square. So I really want to invite all of us to adapt a growth mindset, because that growth mindset will help us improve our performance, and we'll be able to learn from those mistakes.